Today we have discussed compass survey. Compass survey is the survey measuring. Compass is the measuring instrument. In one of the method, the angle measuring instrument used in the compass. The process is known as compass traversing. Traversing is the framework consists of a number of connected lines. The length of the measured by chain or tape and the directions identified by angle measuring instruments. Firstly, true meridian, the line passing through the geographical North Pole, geographical South Pole, and any point on the surface of the earth is known as true meridian or geographical meridian. The true meridian at a station is constant. The true meridian passing through different points on the earth's surface are not parallel but converge towards the poles. But for survey in small areas, the true meridian passing through different points are assumed parallel. The angle between the true meridian and a line is known as true bearing of the line. It is also known as the azimuth. Magnetic meridian, when a magnetic needle is suspended freely and balanced properly, unaffected by magnetic substances, it indicates a direction. This direction is known as magnetic meridian. The angle between the magnetic meridian and a line is known as magnetic bearing or simply the bearing of the line. Arbitrary meridian, sometimes the survey of a small area, a convenient direction is assumed as a meridian known as arbitrary meridian. Sometimes the starting line of a survey is taken and a line is known as arbitrary bearing of the line. Grid meridian, sometimes for preparing a map, some state agencies assume several lines parallel to the true meridian for a particular zone. These lines are termed as grid, grid line and the central line, the grid meridian. The bearing of the line with respect to the grid meridian is known as grid bearing of the line. Whole circle bearing and quadrantal bearing. Whole circle bearing, the magnetic bearing of a line measured clockwise direction from the north pole towards the line is known as the whole circle bearing of that line. Such a bearing may have any value between 0 degree and 360 degree. The whole circle bearing of a line is obtained by prismatic compass quadrantal bearing, the magnetic bearing of a line measured clockwise or counterclockwise from the north pole or south pole, whichever is nearer the line towards the east or west is known as the quadrantal bearing of the line. This system consists of a four quadrants: northeast, southeast, southwest, and northwest. The value of quadrantal bearing lies between 0 degree and 90 degree, but quadrant should always be mentioned. Quadrantal bearing of obtained by a surveyor compass, reduced bearing when the whole circle bearing of a line is converted to quadrantal bearing, it is termed as reduced bearing. Thus, the reduced bearing is similar to the quadrantal bearing. Its values lies between 0 degree and 90 degree. 0 degree and 90 degree, but the quadrant should be mentioned for proper designation. Forebearing. Forebearing. Every line has two bearing. One is observed along the progress of the survey forward direction and is called forebearing, and second is observed in the reverse or opposite direction and is called back bearing. Back bearing equal to forebearing plus minus 180 degree. Use positive sign when forebearing is less than 180 degree and use negative sign when it is more than 180 degree. In case quadrantal bearing system, the numerical value of forebearing and back bearing is equal, but the quadrant are just opposite. For example, forebearing is north 30 degree east, then its back bearing is south 30 degree west. The horizontal angle between the magnetic meridian and true meridian is known as magnetic declination. When the north end of the magnetic needle is pointed towards the west side of the true meridian, the position is termed as declination west. When the north end of the magnetic needle is pointed towards the east side of the true meridian, the position is termed as declination east. Isogonic lines, the lines passing through points of equal declination are known as isogonic lines. These are the isogonic lines. The line passing through points of zero declination is said to be agonic line. The Survey of India department has prepared a map of India in which the isogonic and agonic lines are shown properly. Local attraction. A magnetic needle indicates the north direction when freely suspended or pivoted, but if the needle comes near some magnetic substance such as iron ore, steel structure, electric cable, conveying current, etc., it is found to be deflected from its true direction and does not show the actual north. This disturbing influence of magnetic substance is known as local attraction. To detect the presence of local attraction, the forbearing and backbearing of a line should be taken. If the difference of the fore and backbearing of the line is exactly 180 degree, then there is no local attraction. Forbearing and backbearing of line do not difference by 180 degree, then the needle is said to be affected by local traction provided there is no instrumental error. Principle of the compass surveying. The principle of compass surveying is traversing when which involve a series of connected lines. The magnetic bearing of a line are measured by prismatic compass and distances of the lines are measured by chain. Such survey does not require the formation of a network of triangles. Interior details are located by taking offsets from the main survey lines. Sometimes subsidiary lines may be taken for locating these details. Compass surveying is recommended when a large area to be surveyed. The course of river or coastline is to be surveyed. The area is crowded with many details and triangulation is not possible. Compass surveying is not recommended for areas where local traction is suspected due to the presence of magnetic substances like steel structure, iron ore, iron ore deposit, electric cables conveying current, and so on. Traversing are two types. First, closed traverse and open traverse. When a closed traverse defined as when a series of connected lines form a closed circuit or loop when the finishing point coincides with the starting point of a survey. It is called a closed traverse. Here, point A, B, C, D, E, A represent a closed traverse. This is suitable for a survey of boundaries of a pond, forest, estates, etc. Open traverse when a sequence of connected lines extend along a general direction and does not return to the starting point. It is known as open traverse. Here A, B, C, D, E represent an open traverse. It is suitable for the survey of roads, rivers, coastlines, etc. Methods of traversing. First, chain traversing, compass traversing, cellulite traversing, and plane table traversing. Check on a closed traverse or check on angular measurements of a closed traverse. First, angular measurements. The sum of the measured anterior angles should be equal to 2n minus 4 right angle where n is the number of sides of a traverse. The sum of measured exterior angles should be equal to 2n plus 4 90 degree or right angle. The algebraic sum of the deflection angles should be equal to 360 degree. Right hand deflection is considered positive and left hand deflection negative. Check on linear measurement. The lines should be measured once each on 2 different days. Both measurements should be tally. Linear measurements also be taken by stadia method. The measurements by chaining and by stadia method should be tally. Check on open traverse taking cutoff lines. The lines are taken between some intermediate stations of the open traverse. Suppose station point A, B, C, D, E, F, G represent an open traverse like river. Let AD point and DG point be the cut off lines. The length of magnetic bearing of the cut off lines are measured accurately after plotting the traverse. The distances and bearing are noted from the map. These distances and bearing should tally with the actual records obtained from the field. Taking an auxiliary point suppose point A, station point A, B, C, D, E is the open traverse. A permanent point P are selected on one side of it. The magnetic bearing of this point are taken from the traverse station point A, point B, point C, point D, etc. If the survey is carried out accurately and so is the plotting, all the measured bearing of point P when plotted should meet at the point P. The permanent point P is known as auxiliary point. Types of compass. There are two types of compass. First, prismatic compass and the surveyor compass. Prismatic compass, the readings are taken with the help of prism. Compass box is a circular metallic box of diameter 8 to 10 centimeter. A pivot with a sharp point is provided at a center of the box. Magnetic needle and graduated ring. Magnetic needle is made of a broad magnetized iron bar. The bar is pointed at both ends. Magnetic needle is attached to a graduated aluminum ring. The ring is graduated from 0 degree to 360 degree clockwise, and the graduations begin from the south end of the needle. Thus, 0 degree is marked at the south, 90 degree at the west, 180 degree at the north, and 270 degree at the east. The degrees are again subdivided into a half ring. The degrees are again subdivided into a half degree. The arrangement of the needle and ring contain an agate cap pivoted on the central pivot point. A rider of brass or silver coil is provided with the needle of counterbalance its dip. Sight vein and prism are fixed diametrically opposite to the box. Sight vein is hinged with the metal box and consists of a horsehair at the center. Prism consists of a sighting slit at the top and two small circular holes, one of the bottom of the prism and other at the side of the observer, observer eye. Dark glasses. Two dark glasses are provided with the prism. The red glass is meant for sighting luminous objects at night and the blue glass for reducing the strain on the observer eye in bright daylight. Adjustable mirror. A mirror is provided with the sight vein. The mirror can be lowered or raised and can also be inclined if any object is too low or too high with respect to the line of sight. The mirror can be adjusted to observe it through reflection. Brake pen. A brake pen is provided just at the base of the sight vein. If pressed gently, it stops the oscillation of the ring. Lifting pin is provided just below the sight vein. When sight vein is folded, it presses the lifting pin. The lifting pin then lifts the magnetic needle out of the pivot point to prevent damage to the pivot head. Glass cover is provided on top of the box to protect the aluminum ring from dust. Surveyor compass. There is no prism on it. Readings are taken with the naked eye. It consists of an eye vein with the fine sight slit. The graduated aluminum ring is attached to the circular box. It is not fixed to the magnetic needle. The magnetic needle moves freely over the pivot. The needle shows the reading on the graduated ring. The ring is graduated from 0 degree to 90 degree in a 4 quadrants. 0 degree is marked at the north and south and 90 degree at the east and west. The letter E indicates east, W west, and are interchanged from their true positions. No mirror is attached to the object vein. Temporary adjustment. First, centering, leveling, and focusing. First, centering. Fixing the compass with tripod stand. The tripod stand is placed at the required station with its legs well apart. Then the prismatic compass is held by the left hand and placed over the threaded top of the stand. The compass box is turned clockwise by the right hand. Centering. Normally the compass is centered by dropping a piece of stone from the bottom of the compass box. Centering may also be done with the aid of plumb bob held centrally below the compass box. Leveling. Leveling is done with the help of ball and socket arrangement provided on top of the tripod stand. This arrangement is loosened and box is placed in such a way that the graduated ring rotates freely without touching either the bottom of the box or the glass cover on top. Adjustment of prism. The prism is moved up and down till the figures on the graduated ring are seen sharp and clear. Observation of bearing after centering and leveling are compass. After centering and leveling the compass box over the station, the ranging rod at the required station is bisected perfectly by sighting through the slit of the prism and horsehair at the sight vein. At this time, the graduated ring may rotate rapidly. The brake pin is pressed very gently to stop this rotation. When the ring comes to rest, the box is struck very lightly to verify the horizontality of the ring and frictional effect on the pivot point. Then the reading is taken from the graduated ring through the hole in the prism. This reading will be the magnetic bearing of the line. Thanks.